Yanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet nishchaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata-sevayā bhagavati uttama-shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki durlabhamanisho deho dehinam shanabhangurai Tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priya darshinaha Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for taking out your valuable time to hear Krishna Katha from the mouth of Śrī Sukadeva Goswami and Śrīla Prabhupada, giving the transcendental Bhaktivedanta purports. What could be a better thing in life than to read Śrīla Prabhupada's books, especially in the association of wonderful devotees like all of you. So we will start with Canto 10, Chapter 1, text number 16. That's the point where we last stopped. In the last few verses, we have been discussing that how Śrīla Parikshit Maharaj, till text number 14, inquired from Śrīla Sukadeva Goswami to hear about Krishna Katha in great detail. Now Śrīla Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, glorifying the audience, glorifying the Mahabhagavat Parikshit Maharaj, and mentioning his great qualities. He was not hungry, not sleepy, not thirsty, but only thirsty for the nectar of Krishna Katha. So let's see what Sukadeva Goswami is sharing today. Vasudeva Katha Prashna Purusham Strin Punatihi Vaktaram Prachakam Shrotram Tatpada Salilam Yatha. Vasudeva Katha Prashna Purusham Strin Punatihi Vaktaram Prachakam Shrotram Tatpada Salilam Yatha. Translation and it's no purport. Oh, sorry, there is purport, but it's hidden. To see the purport. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhisharanar, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Śrī Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The Ganges emanating from the toe of the Lord Vishnu purifies the three worlds, the upper, the middle, and the lower planetary systems. Similarly, when one asks questions about the pastimes and the characteristics of the Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, three varieties of men are purified. The speaker or the preacher, he who inquires, and the people in general who listen. Wow. Purport. It is said, Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Bhagavatam 11.321. Those interested in understanding transcendental subject matters as the goal of life must approach the bona fide spiritual master. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta. One must surrender to such a guru who can give right information about Krishna. Herein Maharaj Parikshit has surrendered to the right personality, Sukadeva Goswami, for enlightenment in Vasudeva Katha. Vasudeva is the original personality of Godhead, who has the unlimited spiritual activities. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is a record of such activities, and Bhagavad Gita is the record of Vasudeva speaking personally. Therefore, since the Krishna consciousness movement is full of Vasudeva Katha, anyone who hears, anyone who joins the movement, and anyone who preaches will be purified. Wow, this is excellent. And this is in the Bhagavatam also. So those who like to learn verses, this is certainly talking about the glories of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva Kathā. So who are the three kinds of people who get benefit? Vasudeva Kathā, easy to understand. The Katha about the Supreme Lord and of the Supreme Lord, Bhagavad Gita, about the Supreme Lord, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, or about his bona fide devotees. All that is Krishna Katha. Katha of his devotees, about the Supreme Lord, his incarnations, and anything connected to Krishna is Krishna Katha. Krishna Purusham Strin Punati. Punati means it purifies. Trin, three types of people, it purifies. So, who are the three people? Vaktaram, Vakta. Vakta means speaker. Prichakam, Prachna, one who is asking. Prichami, Shrotrams, Shravana. So three kinds of people are Vaktaram, Prichakam, and Shrotrams. Tat Pad Salilam Yatha, like the Ganges. Yatha means like. As similarly, as Ganga, Mata Ganga, which comes from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Tat Pada Salilam Yatha, purifies the three worlds. What are the three worlds? The upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. Mata is purified. So similarly, anyone who hears Krishna Katha, Shrotram, anyone who asks any questions about Krishna Katha, Prichakam, or anyone who speaks Krishna Katha, Vaktaram, right? Vaktaram, all the three kinds of Purusham Strin Punati. See, now the verse becomes so easy. Maybe one or two devotees can read loudly, so this will get deeper in our consciousness. I think now all of you know the meaning of each and every word also. If we just paraphrase, the Vasudeva Katha, Krishna, Purusham Strin Punati. It purifies three kinds of people. Who are the three kinds? It's mentioned in the third line. Vaktaram, Prichakam, and Shrotrams. And the example is given like a metaphorical speech, like how Ganga purifies Yatha Ganga or Tat Pada Salilam, which comes from the lotus feet of the Lord. Would one or two devotees want to read the verse loudly so it goes deeper and we can try to memorize? Anyone wants to speak the verse? Well, it's the best way to purify our lives, to speak Krishna Katha. Just now reading that. Yes, Kashish Mataji, please.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Tanvat Pranam all devotees, all glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Vasudeva Katha Prashna, Purusham Srim Punatihi, Vaktaram Prachakam Shrotram, Stat Pada Salilam Yatha. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes, Ravi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, all devotees. Vasudeva Katha Prashna, Purusham Trina Punatihi, Vaktaram Prakshakam Srotrams Tadpada Salilam Yatha. Hari Bol.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Ravi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Vasudeva Katha Prashna, Purusham Strin Punatihi, Bhaktaram Prachakam Sutrim, Tatpada Solilam Jatha.
Very nice. Everyone is asking so many questions in this world, right? But the questions pertaining to Vasudeva Katha Prashna, they just not only help the person who's asking the question, but they will help anyone. So we can always keep that mindset when we are hearing Krishna Katha or speaking Krishna Katha or anywhere in the middle. So even if we are just in that assembly where some question answer about Krishna Katha is happening, we are also getting benefit provided we are hearing attentively. So now anyone would like to try without seeing it? So the first line is about Vasudeva Katha Prashna. The second line is about, it purifies three kinds of people. Punati, what's that? Purushams, then Punatihi. It purifies three people. Now the third line explains what are those three people. What are the three? Those who are speaking, those who are asking questions, and those who are shrotrams, those who are hearing. Vaktaram, Prichakam, Pricha, Prashna, Prichami, Yat Shreyasyan. Prichami comes in multiple verses actually. Vaktaram, Prichakam, and Shrotrams. And then the fourth line gives the metaphor about Mata Ganga. Tat Salilam Padam Yatha. Tat Pada Salilam Yatha. So yes, who would like to try? Without saying? Yes, Prabhu.
Vasudeva Katha Prashna Purusham Strin Punatihi Bhaktaram Prichakam Sratrim Tatpada Shalilam Jatha.
Wonderful. See, it's so easy to memorize verses, isn't it? What do you think, Prabhu? Is it easy? Did you know this before?
No, I didn't. But your technique is good, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
It's all Krishna. So anyone else wants to try? Try. We'll help each other. Don't feel shy. When you try, when we strain our mental nerves, it will get stronger, right? It's like an exercise. That's very important. If we fail, I may forget it and I won't try, then we'll never get there. Even if we say one word wrong here and there, Krishna is happy to see our attempt. Try, Vipul Prabhu, try.
Vasudeva Katham Katham Prashna Vasudeva Katham Prashna Purusham Trin Punati and three Bhaktaram Prichakam Stotram. Start is the Ganga.
The word Ganga is not there. It's
Okay.
It comes from the feet of the Lord. That's the connection.
Okay.
Tat Pada Salilam Yatha. What does the word Salila mean? Anyone knows?
Prabhuji, water. Pani.
Salila basically means water. Yeah, it comes in connection to the pure water. Yeah. Yat Pada Salilam, the water coming from the feet of the Lord. And what is that water coming from the feet of the Lord? It's Ganga, right? Isn't it? Now it gets even easier. So the word to word is not mentioned here, but the Salila means water. Yatha, everyone knows, right? Yatha is like. Yatha Raja Tatha Praja, right? The famous verse. Like Raja, and so is the Praja. Tatha means like. Okay, one more devotee will try about this verse without saying. Maybe Sudhir Prabhu will try.
No, Prabhuji, I was away, sorry.
Okay, who wants to try? Kashish Mataji, you try.
Ji, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Vasudeva Katha Prashnam Purusham Srim Punatihi Vaktaram Prachakam Shrotram Statpadasalilam Yatha.
Perfect. See? So it's so easy. Excellent. So those who have not, try. Repeat it 10 times. It will get in your mind and heart. And it's a memory verse also. So every time we are hearing Krishna Katha, we can remember this verse. We are speaking Krishna Katha, we can remember this verse. We are asking questions, we can remember this verse. So, okay, let's go to the next one. Who would like to read? Text 17. Vaishnavi Mataji is there to bless us. Mataji, would you like to read, please? If you are comfortable.
Yeah, okay. So I'm reading the verse also. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Yes, everything.
Bhumir drupta nirpa vyaja daityanika sata yutaiha akranta bhuri bharena brahmanam sharanam yayau. Once, when Mother Earth was overburdened by hundreds of thousands of military phalanxes of various conceited demons dressed like kings, she approached Lord Brahma for relief. Purport also? Okay, purport. When the world is overburdened by unnecessary military arrangements, and when various demoniac kings are the executive heads of the state, this burden causes the appearance of Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4:7, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijami aham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in the religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time, can you move that a little? I appear, at that time I appear myself. When the residents of this earth become atheistic and godless, they descend to the status of animals like dogs and hogs, and thus their only business is to bark among themselves. This is dharmasya glani, deviation from the goal of life. Human life is meant for attaining the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness. But when people are godless, and the presidents or kings are unnecessarily puffed up with military power, their business is to fight and increase the military strength of their different states. Nowadays, therefore, it appears that every state is busy manufacturing atomic weapons to prepare for the Third World War. Such preparations are certainly unnecessary. They reflect the false pride of the head of the state. The real business of the chief executive is to see to the happiness of the mass of people by training them in Krishna consciousness in different divisions of life. Chatur varnam ayasrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. A leader should train the people as brahmanas, kshatriyas, vaishyas, and shudras and engage them in various occupational duties, and thus helping them progress towards Krishna consciousness. Instead, however, rogues and thieves in the guise of protectors arrange for a voting system, and in the name of democracy, they come to power by hook or crook and exploit the citizens. Even long, long ago, asuras, persons devoid of God consciousness, became the heads of state, and now this is happening again. The various states of the world are preoccupied with arranging for military strength. Sometimes they spend 65% of government's revenue for this purpose. But why should people's hard-earned money be spent this way? Because of the present world situation, Krishna has descended in the form of Krishna consciousness movement. This is quite natural, for without Krishna consciousness movement, the world cannot be peaceful and happy.
Thank you, Mataji. You have any comments, thoughts, additions in this particular text?
So this is from 10th canto, right? So
Yes.
this reminds me of a shloka, again going back to first canto, where Kunti says, Bhāgavata-sevayā anye bhuvo navo ivo dadau siddhantya bhuri bharena jato hi atma bhuvartitaha. So you come into this world only to remove the burden of the world. So again and again that bharam, removing the burden of the world, is being stressed. You know, the same words are also repeated in this verse also. So I'm sorry, I only remember that, so I'm using that to say I didn't read this or anything beforehand. So yeah, so that's
Thank you.
it's very apt that what is happening nowadays. He wrote many years back that the leaders of the society, how they fight with among each other, not necessarily worrying about the public, the welfare of the public, and they don't know what is welfare of the public. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. This is excellent. Thank you, Mataji. Excellent connection from Kunti, between Kunti's prayers as well. So Prabhupada makes so many wonderful points in this particular purport. Human life is meant for attaining the highest Krishna consciousness. And in short, if we paraphrase, right, not to degrade to the animal status and bark amongst themselves, amongst each other, right? Basically to give up the dog and the hog business and take to the highest process of Krishna consciousness. But people, even what to speak of the general masses, it's so interesting. Just now we said Yatha Raja Tatha Praja, right? If the king, Raja, is godless, what will be the Praja be? The Praja will also become godless, right? So, and that's what is happening. Andantarastha, blind leading the blind. It's the famous words by Prahlad Maharaj. So what is the solution? The solution is that everyone, that what is the real business? To take to Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is writing this word training twice. By training them in Krishna consciousness in different divisions of life. So it is the responsibility of leader. And last time we discussed who is a leader. Everyone is a leader in some way or the form. Because everyone has the capacity to have an impact on at least one person, right? Can anyone say, I do not have even impact on one person? That's very, very rare, unless you're living in a forest with no one around you. Then even the animals will get impacted. So everyone is impacting someone or the other. Just a little while back, I was discussing with some devotees the importance of training. And Prabhupada is mentioning here, a leader should train the people. Now, as Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, now this can be said in Krishna conscious society, that we should also, we're all leaders in some way or the other, right? It's not that only the GBC is the leader. Yes, they're leader in a bigger role than the regional secretary, than the temple president. They're all leaders. But each one of us is also leader in our own capacity. Like the father is the leader, the mother is the leader, the husband is the leader, The elder brother is the leader for the younger brother. So everyone is a leader in some way or the other. So it's everyone's responsibility to help first train ourselves under the guidance of wonderful devotees, and then also pass that on, because Krishna consciousness is all about training. There are so many things to be trained: how to chant, how to read the scriptures, how to take shelter of bona fide spiritual master, how to deal or conduct ourselves in with Vaishnavas, how to improve our Krishna consciousness, how to worship the deities, what are the offenses, what are the nama prad, seva prad, dhamma prad, etc. All this needs training. The whole Vedic civilization is based on training, isn't it? We take a new role in a job, let's say any job, like as an engineer, as a manager, as a CEO, whatever, doctor. Don't we go through training, right? We all go through some form of training, some courses. Depends. The more complex the job, the difficult the training, right? If someone has to, let's say, make a wooden bench, let's say I don't know how to make a wooden bench. What will you do? I'll go through the training, maybe 2 hours training, and if they have the right tools, the right training, I can build a wooden bench going through the process in 2 hours. But let's say if I have to learn how to do a surgery, can I do in 2 hours training? Right? There is like 20 years of training to become a good surgeon, isn't it? It's not like a quick process. Similarly, this is the transcendental process. So this is like lifetime of preparation. So one should always, unless Shishka Maharaj, Shishka Prabhu also mentioned, and all the senior devotees mentioned, that bhakti means it's a lifetime of a preparation. To keep learning, to keep growing, always have that humble mood that I still have a lot of areas to improve. I still need to learn. At the same time, pass on what we have received from seniors, from our Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, senior Vaishnavas, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. We keep passing on and we keep learning. So that's the reciprocal relationships. And that's the Vedic model. A fifth grade student coaches the 2nd grade student. At the same time, he is learning from the 8th grade student. That's the Vedic model. In Gurukul, the senior student would teach the junior, and the junior is teaching the sub-junior, and like that. So we're all learning, we're all sharing, we're all trying to grow. At the same time, we should all keep passing on this message. Then it will be so wonderful. And this is quite natural, right? Bhakti is not an unnatural thing. Prabhupada is mentioning in the last line. Krishna consciousness movement, without the Krishna consciousness movement, the world cannot be happy and peaceful. That's what we see. When we are with devotees, there is so much joy, happiness, peace, love, selflessness. But in the outside world, it's totally opposite. Anger, revenge, greed. Still, there is so much troubles. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. So, importance of training. One time, someone asked, these questions are there, like one word you have to tell. One word, give one word, the first word which comes to your mind, right? There's some, I don't know what they call it. Anyone knows what, you have to tell, I will ask something, you have to tell one word which comes first to your mind. So I think one senior devotee, Gauranga Prabhu said this, or someone, Gauranga Prabhu asked Radhanath Swami Maharaj, or something like that happened. I don't remember the exact. So he said Krishna consciousness, and the one word first word was training. What he responded. So it's very important, training. Prabhupada did so much personal training himself to his disciples, teaching them cooking, teaching them how to wear dhoti, teaching them accounts, teaching them, so many delicacies, teaching them deity worship, teaching them yajna, marriages, everything, musical instrument. Prabhupada taught so much thing. Right? Any other thoughts in this connection anyone has? this verse. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. We didn't get chance last time, we didn't get chance yesterday. Maybe they can read first, text number 18. Yes, Sampada Mataji, please.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Gaur Bhutvasu Mukhi Khimna, Krandanti Karunam Vipuho, Upasthitanti Tasmai Vyasanam Samavojata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai. Mother Earth assumed the form of a cow. Very much distressed with tears in her eyes, she appeared before Lord Brahma and told him about her misfortune. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji, back to you.
Very well. Thank you. What was the misfortune? Sampada Mataji, here.
The Kamsa and the other people were basically doing adharma in the earth, and then they were also killing brahmanas. They were not letting the Pandit do the yagyas and do the sacrifices.
Mm-hmm. Nice. As we read in the last word, thousands and thousands of godless heads of executive heads. Not just one, we were like many godless people. So Mother Earth cannot tolerate godless people. It's a great misfortune. So if we do not want to be a burden on Mother Earth, right, ourselves, then we must be Krishna conscious. If we, a lot of people say, oh, environment friendly, eco-friendly, etc., which is all nice, right? But being eco-friendly does not just mean to use less plastic. That's certainly one meaning, but that's on a very external level. But how is Mother Earth burdened internally, right? Through lack of God consciousness, right? As she is herself, is mentioned by Shukadeva Goswami. So one could be using less plastic, but totally atheist. Not a very good idea. It's like externally one may be nice, but internally got lack of atheistic or atheistic principles. Then it's like outside is nice, but like show bottle, superficial. So we are not saying to be harmful to the environment, but we have to understand from the holistic perspective. Like Srila Prabhupada was very, very conscious about the environment. Very, very conscious. One time, my wife was telling me she was reading Nityaṁ with Ananta Mataji and others. Prabhupada said, who is the rascal who was using the lights inside and he came out and didn't turn off the lights? Prabhupada said like that. Like the lights are on for no reason. Prabhupada said, who's that rascal? Of course, we can't use those words, but I think we can understand the mood, that how Prabhupada was upset about it, how Prabhupada didn't like the wastage of resources. One time another, a faucet was open, leaking in the water for no reason in the grass. So Prabhupada said, can't you see? Can't you see? Like 3-4 times. And then devotees were thinking it was in Mayapur, what some Divya Leela is happening, or some Gauranga Mahaprabhu is dancing, or what's going on. And they were all thinking, and then Prabhupada said, what Prabhupada? Yeah, the water is leaking. Why is the water leaking? For no reason. It's energy of the Lord. Why is the energy getting wasted? So yes, we should be conscious towards the environment and minimize. Of course, we cannot, living in the city and everything, we cannot, we have to see what's favorable, what's unfavorable, and how much we can do in the best of our abilities. But the main thing is to not be godless. Otherwise, Mother Earth will be troubled a lot more. And she cannot tolerate that. So she took the form of a cow and then went to Lord Brahma. So let's see what happens. Okay, we didn't get a chance yesterday because devotees can read first.
Can you read, Prabhu?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Another pranam. Text 19. Brahmatad upadharyata saha deves tayasaha jagamasa trinayanas tiram kshira payo nidehi. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thereafter, having heard of the distress of Mother Earth, Lord Brahma with Mother Earth, Lord Shiva and all other demigods approached the shore of the ocean of milk. Purport. After Lord Brahma understood the precarious condition of the earth, he visited the demigods headed by the Lord Indra, who are in charge of the various affairs of the universe, and Lord Shiva, who is responsible of annihilation. Both maintenance and annihilation go on perpetually under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, 4 chapter 8 text, Parityanaya Pavitranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chatushkutam. Those who are obedient to the laws of God are protected by different servants and demigods, whereas those who are undesirable are vanquished by Lord Shiva. Lord Brahma first met all of the demigods, including Lord Shiva. Then, along with Mother Earth, they went to the shores of Milk Ocean, where Lord Vishnu lies on a white island, Svetadvipa. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Any thoughts, comments, conditions?
Prabhu, what I understood is like kind of touches to the previous purport as well, and you explained very nicely as well. We should not trouble Mother Earth, and Mother Earth can be, we should always take care of Mother Earth by having faith towards the Lord. And in this case, because by seeing the misfortune of Mother Earth, all the demigods, including Lord Shiva, they all went to the maintainer, who is Lord Vishnu, to ask we have to see what next they will ask, but that's what understood. And because of too many godless people are there, too many godless heads are there, it's a time for annihilation as well. According to that Bhagavad Gita, for the text. So the destruction has to happen to take care of to Mother Earth, I think. Thank you, Prabhu. And I just want to mention one other point as well, Prabhu. Especially, I'm not sure if this is the ritual that across India happens, but especially when in our place, in our family, whenever whoever is planning to build a new home, first we do the Bhumi Puja, which is in turn offered, like we are offering Mother, because as during the process of house building, we will be hurting Mother Earth by digging big holes to her and using different tools and all. So first we ask the pardon of Mother Earth by doing the Bhumi Puja, and then we start the any kind of a construction. So I just thought, like, it's yes, and you said it's not just one thing we do to Mother Earth. There are so many things that we do without knowing or with knowing, but she all forgives us every day, and we should be grateful to her by keeping us safe and by letting us see, letting us give the opportunity to pray Govinda every day. So just want to mention that, Prabhu.
Thank you. Excellent points, Prabhu. Yes, I think devotees also recommend that every day before we put our feet on the ground or we wake up, we should offer pranams to Mother Earth also for giving us this chance to render Krishna consciousness and for bearing our weight. Right? Such a sinful person I am, Mother Earth is tolerating me. So this is excellent. So I was hearing a similar class by Gauranga Prabhu in this connection, and he gave a very, very nice point here. Let's go into the mood of Lord Brahma here, and we'll deeply be able to understand. It's so interesting that they're all going to Payonidhi. We just read in the Caitanya-caritāmṛta also, Shweta Dvipa, the same thing. Shweta Dvipa, Payasagara, Payonidhi, or Śrī Sagara, same. Payasam, remember? The ocean of milk. So they are going to the ocean of milk in the universe, where Lord Vishnu is present in the Shrudakshayi form. They're going to that milk ocean, and they are about to render some prayers. But let's go to the mood of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is highly intelligent. We all know that. His body is made up of intelligence. Now, Mother Earth has come to her, isn't it? In the last verse, we read that Mother Earth went to Lord Brahma. And she told about her situation. Someone who is highly intelligent, someone who is very, very expert, the chief creator. But at the same time, if you see Lord Brahma's mood, it's very, very humble. Very, very humble. Why? Because he has now understood or being very cognizant that this is beyond my scope. This problem, I cannot handle it. Right? In the material world, if someone is expert, they don't want to they want everyone to approach them in out of ego, out of false ego. Hey, I'm the expert, I know this. Why are you going to someone else to get your problem solved? And then they don't want to recommend, like if you have to get your car fixed, for example. Will any mechanic say, well, I can't solve your car problem. You go to a better mechanic, then he will solve. Most likely, 99%, they will say, no, I can fix it. I know how to fix it. I'm the best mechanic in the world. And so for every thing. So Lord Brahma is very, very humble and very, very cognizant that this is something beyond me. But I know who can do it, Lord Vishnu. So let's all go there and ask for help. So it needs great humility. It needs great humility, especially when the person is so advanced. But the more one especially is advanced, the more one gets humble, and as more one is cognizant of one, like self-aware or self-realized that this is beyond me. So I really like that lesson. Yes, Ravi Prabhu, you were raising your hand that you had something to share. Was it to read the next verse or?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No, I just thought of thanking Ekant Prabhuji, because we knew about this ritual of this Bhumi Puja, but I didn't know that you are seeking the forgiveness for digging all these holes and all that. So thank you, Ekant Prabhuji. And is the sloka that you Prabhuji mentioned when supposed to say in the morning before you put your feet, is it like Samundra Vashne Devi Parvatastane Mandale Vishnu Patni Namastu Bhyam Padasparsam Chamaswame? Is it something like that?
Something like that. You're right. Actually, His Grace Vishika Prabhu has given this, but unfortunately, I have not memorized that one. But I think Krishna is telling to
Yeah,
you.
somehow I used to say this for a long time, like Samundra Vasne Devi Parvatastane Mandale Vishnu Patni Namastu Bhyam Padasparsam Chamaswame.
Of course, that's a wonderful verse which we can certainly sing. And I think there are a few others also to glorify Mother Earth. So the goal is to ask for forgiveness, as you said, Shamaswami, and to offer our prayers to Guru, to Krishna, to Mother Earth, to the Guru Parampara. Every day we get up and every night before we sleep. It's a good practice to do. So thank you. Yeah, in the Bhumi Puja, in the Graha Puja recently, we had a housewarming ceremony for a devotee. Yes, there is special, some grains, some particles are taken for the ants. There must be a lot of ant hills there, or a lot of creatures must be living. Their residents have been destroyed because a building with bricks and walls and stuff has been made. So a lot of, our Shastras, our Vedic scriptures are very, very bona fide and have, yes, we are kind of like uprooting their homes to build my home, isn't it? Right? They were living peacefully, but due to industrialization and deforestation, they are, running hither and thither. So certainly selfish, but we have to do at least something for them, right? Recently, I was hearing, I think Vidikant Prabhu's home only, and he was there while we were setting up the yajna. So Radhanath Maharaj mentioned this point that humans have these special, humans are the caretakers of others. Humans are sent to be like caretakers of not just humans, but of everyone else also by God, right? Because that's why we are human. Being human does not mean just to wear a t-shirt says being human, right? Being human means to be noble to others. What are the Kuduki animals? They can't express themselves. Mother Earth can't express herself like we can, but she's expressing through these problems which are coming, these diseases, these volcanoes and tornadoes and forest fires. That please become God conscious, please become Krishna conscious. But people don't hear that way. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay. So yeah, let's just meditate upon this, that they are going there. All the parties, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva also. Very similar to that story where Durvasa Muni goes and asks for help. Lord Brahma said, sorry, this is beyond me. Goes to Lord Shiva, sorry, this is beyond me. And then they all go to I'm not sure if they all go to Lord Vishnu there, but they kind of refer him to Lord Vishnu. You go to our senior. So now in this case, they're all going to think. So Sudhir Prabhu has a very nice picture. Maybe you can click it and share with everyone. At his home, all these demigods, including Brahma, Shiva, offering prayers at the milk ocean. It's a very famous painting in ISKCON. I'm not sure if it's there in this book. But yeah, next time we'll share that. Yeah, it's not in this book, but next time we'll share. So maybe let's do that revision of the verse, which some of you tried to memorize. Who can, so that it's important, otherwise you'll forget it. Vasudeva Kathā Prashna, the questions pertaining to Vasudeva Kathā. What happens Pumsam stri punatihi. It purifies 3 kinds of people. Vaktaram, pritchakam, and shrotrams, who speak, who ask, and who hear. Then the example is given. Tat pad salilam yatha, like the mother Ganges coming out of the lotus feet of the Lord, purifies the 3 worlds. So anyone would like to try this verse before we wind up? Maybe 2-3 devotees can try. We'll help each other. Who wants to try? Yes, Prabir Prabhu? Let you try, then others will get more encouragement.
Vasudeva Kathā Prashna Purusham Strin Punatihi Bhaktaram Prachami Sotrim Tatpada Sholila Jatha.
Wonderful. Excellent. Anyone else wants to try?
Vasudeva Katha Prashna Purusham Trino Punati iti Bhaktam Pricham Srotram Tatha
Tatpada
Shulilo
Yatha.
Tatpada Shulilo.
Very nice, very nice. Almost there. Anyone else wants to try? Sampada, Mataji. Try, don't worry. You're also intelligent.
I haven't really memorized it, but can I just like say it from my notebook?
Sure.
Okay. Vasudeva Katha Prasna Purusham Trinpunatihi Bhaktaram Prachukam Shotrams Tatpada Satvayatha.
Very nice. Anyone else wants to try before we wrap up? Okay. There's a new devotee here. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Mataji, you want to, or you're joining first time? From where you're joining, if you could please tell a little bit about yourself. We're blessed to have you here. Śrī.
Prabhuji, she is my cousin from Texas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Sampada sent me a link for this long back, but I couldn't join due to work. So
Okay. So where are you from? From India or from US? Can you tell a little bit about yourself?
I'm originally from Nepal, but right now I'm in Colorado. And yeah, I'm doing a job here. So I moved from Texas.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You have a good cousins who are all devotees of the Supreme Lord. So I think it's very good to help and inspire each other.
Yes, I think Sampada is like inspiring all of us to do it.
That's a true well-wisher, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In the Madhurashtakam bhajan is a very sweet bhajan. That's for its name is Madhurashtakam. It says that that person is a true well-wisher, the true swajana or relative, one who helps to remind us of Krishna. So you have true well-wisher as your relative, as your cousin. So thank you so much for taking out your valuable time in spite of your work and busy schedule.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. So those who want can try to memorize this verse. Text number 16, it's an important verse. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purāṇa ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai, Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripā Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Haribol, thank you so much.
Haribol.
Hari Bol
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Shubhola, you are such a good teacher. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.